This is Maggie Connolly, and I'm here at Admiralty Farms, and we're going to discuss some tools for training your horse. First of all, the first number one most important tool is to have a knowledge base and to work with someone who is very knowledgeable in training horses. That is step number one. Step number two is to make sure that when training horses that there's always patience. It takes patience in training horses. And there are many tools depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Please understand that no matter what type of tools you use, whether they be a material type tool, that they always be used with care and that they always be used correctly. There's any tool that comes in training with horse does have the propensity to be used in what could be a detrimental manner. So you always want to make sure that any tool that you're using, whether it be a type of device to create giving of the bit, to any type of motivational tool like a spur or a whip, that it is used correctly and with care. Some of the training tools that I use, because I'm more in the dressage and jumping disciplines, is the first thing that I want to train a horse to do is to accept the bit. And I always use a light, kind bit, and I always want the horse accepting that. So we always start with horses on the ground. Basically, before we get on a horse and we ride it and we want it to do something, we utilize lunge lines, bitting rigs, use of bridle and bits, and I use one device called a sham bone in order to try and teach a horse to come around and come from behind and to be giving and accepting of the bit. A sham bone is a device that's been around for many years, and it can be set in two types of settings. One being the sham bone, where it attaches to the bit and comes through the bridle and attaches to your girth, or in the dagagi type fashion, where it actually comes through the bit and creates a triangle, which helps create giving of the bit so that the horse can learn to come through and actually utilize itself correctly. Some of the other more common tools used in training horses are a whip, like a dressage whip. A dressage whip should be used in a fashion that is an extension of your leg and should never be used in the fashion of like a weapon or to punish a horse per se. It should be used as a motivator to get a horse to move forward in order to teach the horse to be responsive to your leg. Other popular tools are like spurs, which attach to the bottom of the heel of your foot. It can be used with a horse that is a little bit dull to the leg or not so responsive to the leg. You can use that to press against and get the horse to move forward. Any of these common tools you can find in any tack shop. The sham bone that I mentioned earlier is a tool that I like to make or have made by a trainer friend of mine, where we use just strong rope and not more of a bungee kind of giving kind of material. Any of these devices can be put on a horse and put in a manner that's not conducive to obtaining the desired result. So please make sure that in any tool that you use, that you have a professional that's with you that can teach you how to utilize that tool for its best benefit, and that nothing is used too abruptly. With horses, it's imperative that everything's done in small stages and in baby steps, and that you get the desired result, for 3 times before you move on to a further step. This is Maggie Connolly. I'm with Admiralty Farms, and that is some of the training tools for training horses.